Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I hope everyone's having a very, very good day wherever they are on this early morning video. It's going to be a busy day here on E20. There's a couple of streams I've got to do tonight. Watch along after full on the game tonight. But I thought I'd do this stream today to talk about Michail Antonio, to talk about basically Callum Wilson potentially taking his number 9 shirt. Are we being trolled, ladies and gentlemen? Are we being trolled? Chuck your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think. And do you know what? I really appreciate all the comments on that video I done last night. Goes a long way, and I didn't realise how good the video was until the morning when I sort of checked it over, and it was just like the comments was just relentless in there. Oh, mate, I've been having it with fucking people. People have been blocking me and unfollowing me. One thing I've learned over the last 24 hours that this fan base just doesn't care anymore about what happens, whether Sullivan does, which is really sad. Really is sad. Let me just share this. Anyone who's on Twitter, I've just posted something on Twitter. If you could repost it for us, it'd be handy. So yeah. Ah, dear. Antonio, good for go. Take number 9. Yeah. All right. Listen, check your comments in. Let's see what you got to say. All right. Let's see what Brad's got to say. What disgrace, James. Callum Wilson's son was bad enough, but to take Antonio's number 9 shirt just adds salt into the wounds. We've gone from bidding for Duran last summer to signing Wilson for free. Do you know what? Great comment. Yeah. And the thing is, I just can't work people out. That's the thing. I just can't work out what people want out of this club. Yeah. Now I'm going to sort of explain myself and what I want. Yeah, because I can only speak for myself. I want to see West Ham progress. I want to see West Ham looking to go into the top 10. This is not a signing for that. This is basically a cover-up signing to go, you know what? We're skint. We've put ourselves so much in the shit because we're shit at signing players. We're just going to sign any Tom, Dick or Harry to cover the spot. That's all well and good. But my argument is this, and I think people get it misread. Yeah, so I'm going to clarify it right now. Yeah, as I've got a fruit and oats bake because I'm on a diet. What's given me the ump is that we've all known for years that Michail Antonio was going to be out the door eventually. We've all known that for a long time. People said he should have left a couple of years ago. Regardless, we've all known. To come up with Callum Wilson as the replacement on a short-term fix is just laughable for me, right? And when there's people who are sort of refusing to go to West Ham now and they don't want to pay the season ticket money, West Ham are saying, oh, well, begging for season ticket people. That's just not right. It's just not right. And to go and get rid of Antonio is one thing. And my argument also is this, yeah, and I'll get to your comments. It's not so much getting rid of Antonio that irritates me. So we've replaced him with that irritates me more than anything. And people keep saying this line to me, right? Doesn't matter. Just back the team. Yeah. Like back the player. Like we don't back these players. Listen, the way I'm looking at it with Callum Wilson, he's an employee at West Ham. That's the way I'm looking at it. He works for West Ham. That's it. I'm going to have no love for this geezer or no feeling towards this geezer like I've got towards Jared Bowen, Thomas Souček, to name them too. But I said this last year. I said it to the boys. I said it in the summer. I said it after the Mohamed Kudus thing. Someone's taking the piss out of us, mate. Simply taking the piss out of us, yeah? Not only do you have to sell before you can buy, that's the first thing where he's taking the piss. You then sell Mo to them up in North London, which is an insult, and we go to them, not they come to us. We go to them. We then sell him to them, and then so far we've brought in 2 free transfers and a wing back. And the problem is people keep saying, well, as long as we get X, Y, and Z, meaning midfielder, goalkeeper. I think someone else mentioned a centre half, right? Ain't going to happen, right? Because what is making it, what is abundantly clear right now is Potter don't have no fucking say, right? Sullivan's running the show, and basically Sullivan's going to give him players, and he's got to work with them. He's not my fucking owner, mate. And listen, as I always say, he don't own West Ham to me. He's just someone who's got the keys to the fucking castle, which is sickening. Jay, you're the best platform out there. No, listen, mate, I've had so much shit over the last 24 hours because I turned around and said that I can't get on board with this one because it's an insult. It's an insult to everyone. But people will just, I think people are done arguing about it and just accept it for what it is, which is fine. I understand that you can accept it for what it is. Doesn't mean to say I'm going to accept it for what it is, because I can read Sullivan like a fucking book. When you've been on this case and been on this train for the last 10 years, which I have for a long time, maybe I'm a bit obsessed by it, maybe, yeah. But I know the patterns of what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? Next thing it'll be the goalkeeper, right? We're gonna have a transfer saga over a goalkeeper, and then he's gonna start playing one goalkeeper off against the other goalkeeper, and we don't know what goalkeeper we're gonna get. How can West Ham be going into a season in 13 days' time and not have a goalkeeper? It's it baffles me beyond belief. And people look at me and say, "Oh, I'm the problem," right? I'm not the problem, right? I'm telling you exactly how it's playing out. I've not been fucking wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? If I've been wrong, tell me where I've been wrong, and I will look at it and address it, and I'll hold my hands up if I'm wrong. But on Sullivan, I'm not wrong. I've been on it for too long. I know the patterns too much. Do you know what I'm saying? The geezer does not want to invest no money into this club. That's the bottom line of it. Now, to me, as a West Ham fan, I find that quite insulting, because you take us out of our own, you put us in that gaff, right? And now you don't want to invest in us. So you basically just want us to rot down into nothing. I take offence to that. That's my prerogative to take offence to that. Do you know what I mean? If anyone else has offence to that, then that's up to them. But for me, yeah. What's this one here? Wilson is like to get some serious from the supporters for his past. But if he does well, what do we say? Listen, he's paid to do a job at the end of the day, Wilson, right? If he does a job, then great. That's why he's here. But doesn't mean to say we've got to like the geezer. Right? I'm not going to like the geezer. I'm going to say that quite openly. I'm looking at him as an employee who works for West Ham United. Right? He's no different to the fucking physio. Do you know what I mean? I've got no feeling towards Callum Wilson whatsoever. Right? I don't care if he bangs in 10 goals in a season. I look at him and I think, you're only here because you're the cheap option, because our owner won't invest no money into this club. That's the bottom line of it. The ownership will not invest no money into this club because they don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's have a look at this one. Oh dear. Sullivan has taken the piss out of us every year. I've seen people say it's a good signing. This football club is on its knees. Don't point the anger at Potter, aim it at the poison dwarf Sullivan. And you know what it's going to be? It's gonna turn like that. I know exactly how it's gonna go. If we start slow, everyone's gonna be on Potter's case. Yeah. When the blame really should be looked at the owner, right? The owner should be looked at. God, why is my fucking nose itching, man? Do you think like fucking hell? It's like your girlfriend sleeping with your best friend, and the best friend is Wilson. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know, mate. It's just a joke. See what final words on this. Antonio, 10 years of service, is deemed too old now to sign a player who has verbally abused us. It's always injured. 33 years old. It's a complete fucking joke. Piss take FC. Do you know what? With the Michail Antonio thing, I'm not fully against him going, but my argument is West Ham have known for years that this man's leaving. So where is the plan? Do you know what I mean? What it is, it's basically year in, year out. That's what it is. So what happens next year then? That means you're going to have 4 Krug you got to get rid of, right? Because he might want to go back to Germany at some point. And then you got Wilson. And then like it just doesn't feel right to me. It feels like that it's a cheap signing to get around the problem instead of investing the money. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's basically it's like knowing you got a crack in the fucking wall. Instead of plastering the fucking thing up and getting it done properly, you're gonna put it in there with fucking super glue. Do you know what I mean? It's just yeah, it's just not right, man. Um, what is what is disgusting is these people think they can tell you how to feel. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I will not be backing Wilson. I don't care way anyone tries to spin it. BS out. Do you know what? I sort of agree with that. Yeah, I can understand the argument on the other side of the coin. They're going, well, why won't you back him? But my argument, it's an hard one. It's not really with him. My argument is aimed really and solely at Sullivan. Because I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, why can't you invest in this club, mate? That's the argument that I've got. And people say, well, you can't throw money at it. Well, hold on a minute. You brought Carl McCauley in. You're telling me Carl McCauley, you basically you don't trust Carl McCauley now. You didn't trust Steiden, now you don't trust Carl McCauley. So who the fuck do you trust? What, Salthouse or Silkman? It baffles me beyond belief. It's like you can have all the equipment, right, to do the job, and but you don't trust the person to do it. You know what I'm saying? Also, Wilson claimed to like a bit of banter. We should all sing "You Just a Shit Antonio" here. Oh, it's all banter, isn't it? Completely agree on that. I'm waiting till the window closes. I was just hoping that we can sign a top quality goalkeeper, centre midfielder, and centre back. I keep seeing that. Yeah, I do. Right, I really do. People saying, "Well, wait until the end of the window." This window so far has been insulting, in my honest opinion. Right, it really has, and it's been insulting for many reasons. And I'll tell you the reason why it's been insulting. Yeah, because it's now day 3, right? August the 3rd, and we're still nowhere near further forward about getting a central midfielder in. That's the problem, and we are just hoping that we're going to get it. Like I see people saying, as long as we get this, this, and this. This is David Sullivan we're dealing with here, right? If he's running the show, right, he's going to get involved. Yeah, we've all known that Hermansen, right, and shout out to Brozovic. I always say this on here, right, but Brozovic knows who he is. He comes on the spaces that I do on X. He's turned around and called this with Hermansen for ages, that you're getting in his coaching staff to appease the player, right? Fine. So why are we not now going after Hermansen and securing the deal? What Sullivan's doing, he's playing the game like he always does. Does it every single time. He plays one transfer off against another. Every single time, right? So now he's brought in another person to put the pressure on the clubs. It's just, and if he gets the number 9 shirt, Callum Wilson gets number 9 shirt, I think that's the biggest insult of all, if I'm being honest. And it would not surprise me. You take out Antonio, you put him as your number 9. And I know shirt numbers don't matter deep down. They don't, right? But it's just like, it feels wrong to me. It just feels wrong. It feels like you're accepting it, yeah, because you have to. And my attitude is I ain't got to accept fuck all that Sullivan delivers. I haven't. Because everything he delivers always turns to shit in the end. So, even with crappy tools, a manager is supposed to manage the team. A great manager can do it without the best tools for the job. Yeah, but you're asking him to take on players who are injury prone and don't fit the style of play. Callum Wilson doesn't fit the style of play that Potter wants to play. And the thing is, what someone said the other week, and I make him 100% right on this, and this is why I do. One thing I do love about YouTube, I can get opinions quick. Yeah. And someone said it to me the other day. They said about when Potter turned around and said he didn't want a striker. That's Potter saying he doesn't want the striker that Sullivan's delivering. Now, when people say, well, Potter's agreed to it, well, we ain't going to say no to it, is he? Do you know what I'm saying? If he's coming in, then he's just got to accept it. The issue is how long does this go on before Potter don't like what's being served up? That's the real thing. Like, if the goalkeeper situation, for instance, ends up being John Victor, yeah, the Brazilian goalkeeper, and then you've been chasing Suzuki, and you've been chasing Hermansen, We've been linked with Sanchez. We've been linked with so many goalkeepers. And then if we go after the one that Sullivan says, what's the point in Carl McCauley? Like, do you know what I'm saying? There's no way, and I'd have money on this. I really would. There is absolute no way Carl McCauley doesn't have a list of players that West Ham can go after and get. Right? He's done it at Swansea, Brighton, Chelsea. There's no way. No one can convince me that he can't find me a striker out there on the planet. The reason why he can't find us a striker, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to say it quite fucking openly, is because the ownership won't invest no money into this club. And basically, we are working on pocket money. That's what we're working on. We're working on rations. How's that acceptable? Do you know what I'm saying? And it's what I've noticed, and I know I'm going on a bit of a rant, right? But I'm going to say it fucking openly because I've just about had enough of people keep defending situations which are undefendable, right? What's giving me the it's West Ham's a bit like politics. You're either far left or you're far right, and there's no in between. And that's what it seems like with West Ham at the minute. My issue is when will people stand back, look at it, and go, Callum Wilson on a free? What's really going on here? Do you know what I mean? Like, but they won't do that. They will look at the short term at West Ham. That's what I've noticed since I've done the YouTube game. Everyone looks at the here and now, but they don't look down the road. They don't look down the road in basically 2 years' time when we've got to replace both Fulkrug and Wilson. You know, it just doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. It's like destined to fail. Do you know what I'm saying? Striker's the most important position on the pitch because that's the one that scores you the goals to win you the games, right? They also cost the most money. Sullivan's been burnt on transfers, yeah, for years and years and years. And people keep saying Skamaka, Haller, all this, yeah. Yeah, I understand that. He's been burnt. But what do you do? Just give up then? What do you do? Turn around and go, you know what? We're signing every striker we get now is a free transfer. Come on. Fucking hell. We didn't move for that. Sure to God. Sullivan's always done this shit signings. He don't care about West Ham, us fans. He needs to go before we get better as a team. He should have went years ago, mate. James, I could get this sort of squad sorted out for 60 million in the back of my hand. That's how easy it is for people who don't realise he's a very good young player. Very good young. Mate, sometimes I think I'm off my nut, probably. Potter said we have too much money off the pitch and need to bring in the average age of the squad down. If you think if you think Wilson is a Potter signing, I give up. Sullivan is a clown and we are the circus. He's not. There's no way Wilson's a fucking Potter signing, mate. No way. There's no way. And this is the thing what I said before last summer. I mentioned it quite clearly, and people come at me again, right? But no one looks at the logic, right? Which I might as well turn that into a fucking chalkboard, right? Because I might need to. Last summer, Max Kilman, I said this is to appease Lopetegui. This is not a Steiden signing, right? And people say, oh yeah, it is a Steiden signing. He wants him. And my argument was, you can go around the whole of the planet and you're telling me the one player he wants is Max Kilman from Wolves. The same applies here with Wilson. You know what I mean? He's not a Potter signing. I can guarantee you McCoy's got someone in fucking Denmark or Sweden somewhere who's a young up-and-coming striker, but Sullivan won't pay the money for the player and rather go with experience and someone who's been there, seen it, done it, rather than go younger with a potential gem. That's the thing. That's what it is. Anyone who wants to come on, by all means, come on. You know what to do. Links there. Haller was quality. Played in the wrong system. Didn't play the ball into him early enough. I think he could have been a cult hero. Fair enough. Guys, actually, I think it's 6 bags a week. Each of 6 bags a week out as well. Do you know what? Don't be surprised if the incentives for appearances and goals are massive on that. Yeah. The issue with it, if he's on a pay-as-you-play deal, the pressure is going to be on Potter to play him, isn't it? That's the real thing. So you can't have a player sitting there on £6 a week and then not playing, because I know what's going to happen. Wilson's going to go into the office, want to speak to the owner and say, "Well, he's not playing me. I need game time." So basically, the hand's going to be forced that Potter has to play this geezer. It wouldn't surprise me at all in the slightest if there's something in the contract that says he has to play a minimum 15 games a season, right? If fit, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Let's get down to it. Let's have a look. It's crazy how we all didn't want Falkirk because of his big price tag for his age. Now we're sunk that far. We are desperate for him not to get injured. Get hell, mate. Desperate for him not to get injured. Fuck me. We are hoping, mate. Sullivan away. I've read that one. Let's get to this one. Where was it? Let's have a look. James, what I want to see is ambition. I feel like we should be permanent fixture in the top 10. I want us to be signing players of top class, not getting has-beens. I'm fearful for the club's long-term future. I don't think there is a long-term future at this club, mate, if I'm being honest. If you want me to be truthfully honest, and I'm going to be truthfully honest now, we are working year on, year out. That's what it is. Gary says, play a different record. No, mate, I'm going to continue to play this same record over and over again until it sinks into people's skulls, right? And I won't stop until I'm dead. I'm not stopping until I'm dead on the fucking floor on a slab in the morgue, because there's people like me and a few others who have been on this train for a long time. And this is the reason why we're in a rented gaff that we can't fill. We've got 29,000 people that we can't fucking get into the ground because they don't want to be there. So no, I'm going to continue to play this fucking record over and over again until it kills me. And if it kills me, then someone else can take the fucking mantle of it. I mean that. This geezer's taking the piss out of all of us, and we all just got to sit there and just shut our mouths and say nothing. Fuck that for a laugh. No chance. No chance I'm letting that prick win. Someone only works with the same people so he can milk the club dry. And do you know what I'm going to do? This is another thing I'm going to do. Yeah, for everyone. And this is going to be brilliant. I'll do this. I'm going to get hold of a Birmingham fan. I want to get hold of a Birmingham fan who can come on this platform, who's prepared to do like podcasts and all that. Come on here and speak about Sullivan and what he done at Birmingham. Because I can guarantee it right now. Yeah, it'd be parallel with West Ham right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Joke. James, sorry I haven't been about. I've just gone for a 23-year relationship breakup, but I'm back. No worries, mate. No worries at all. I hope you're well, Gaz, yeah? And listen, it's good to see you back, mate. Do you know what I mean? You've come from one bad situation, son, to another. So there you go. It is what it is. The club promised us next level, James. We don't ask for much as fans. We expect the team that has style and has ambition, has passion, pride in representing our beloved club. The word there's ambition, mate. There is none. There is none. I was talking about Wilson, Antonio and Wilson. The problem is, mate, right, is that I just don't understand what people want anymore, though. Do you know what I'm saying? And like, if someone could, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what we're going to do on this. So 97 people watching, I really appreciate it. I want you to tell me what you want. Give me 3 points of what you want out of West Ham United Football Club. Now, I'm going to say mine. First off, I want to see ambition, right? I think that's fair, right? When you move, ambition should be the key word of what we want to do at West Ham. I want to see progression, yeah? And I want to see a side that I can be proud of on the pitch. I don't want to see a bunch of players just dragged together and hope for the best. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. I don't know why my fucking nose is itching, man. Me. I think it's pollen. Centre forwards, 2 box to bottom midfielders, left winger. There you go. like it's just not that hard to understand. Do you know what I'm saying? If they're worried about us, we wouldn't have went to the Olympic Stadium if it was just for the money, not thinking of the fans. I'm not going to keep mentioning the stadium because we all know the stadium's the problem. Do you know what I'm saying? Also, another thing that's a bit of a problem is a lack of investment from him. That's a slight problem for me because what you're doing is you're letting the club. You're not giving the best for the club. You're doing the best for the finances. And apparently, what I'm hearing from a couple of the boys in the WhatsApp group, a couple of other people, right, is West Ham are nowhere near it in any danger of PSR. Nowhere near it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I want an ambitious owner. I want to see our younger players come to our club. I want the academy playing. I I want hope that the young players can get better, even if even if we're losing, and we're in a proper stadium. Fucking hell. Yeah. Let's have a look. What else is there? I want a new owner. I want to fuck him up so bad. The big teams. I want trophies. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying. Let's bring this geezer in. James, what you saying, man?
How you doing? Listen. I've been a West Ham fan, right, for 49 fucking years, and
Yeah.
see this little pointy dwarf. I'd like to give him the hardest kick in the bollocks anyone's ever done because he has ruined this club, absolutely ruined it. And what you were saying about Birmingham earlier is 100% true. You get a Birmingham fan come in, and they'll tell you. All him and Gold ever wanted to do was take the money from this club, what they could get, sell our ground, move us on. Listen, I don't even live in England anymore, so I watch every game on telly, right? But I promise you this, I don't even want to watch anymore. That's
Yeah.
how he's got me. Callum fucking Wilson. Callum Wilson. What the fuck is that all about? Listen, I watch your show all the time. I watch you, I watch Nick, I watch Gary, I watch Gio and all them. I've bled claret and blue for 49 years. This man is making me want to walk away from the club and never watch another game because
Yeah.
what is he doing? So when people see you on here ranting or whatever, and or they argue with you on Twitter, listen, I don't agree with everything everybody says. I shouldn't
Yeah.
think anybody does, right? But the thing is this. He only, like I said, I typed a little comment earlier. He only works with the same people. Silkman. He works with Salthouse. The journalists he uses from when he owned the Daily Sport would like Ornstein, Steinberg. Listen to their surnames, what they are, and that'll tell you the kind of people he operates with. So my suggestion to people, the people who go over to London Stadium, here's my suggestion. When you go over there this year, instead of having a dig at Graham Potter because he's just a patsy in all this, right? Start singing "Fuck off, fucking Sullivan and Brady." You're all cunts, cunts, cunts. Because that's
Mhm.
exactly what I would do. Because you kind of, like I said, listen, I was a season ticket holder for 25 years. 25 years. I didn't mind going over there and spending my money. I took my kids. I look at people today. I look at these young kids, and I think to myself, what are they going to do? They ain't going to have the same upbringing that we had at
Yeah.
Upton Park because
True.
that's gone. So they look at the London Stadium, and you look at today's players, and we've got the likes of like that Rodriguez and all that. You sit there and go, like, I think to myself, he wouldn't have even got in an Harry Red that team. And don't get me wrong, towards the end, Red that bought a load of shit. Vladimir Labanc, Laurent Courtois, Rigobert Song. You can reel the names off, but
Yeah.
when Harry Redknapp was allowed to have the money, not only did we have the best youth around, Cole, Carrick, Johnson, we had good players to mix in with the likes of Di Canio, just prior to that, John Arts and Paul Kitson. We had good quality players. Look at what we've got now. Fucking Callum Wilson. The geezer's got spaghetti fucking hamstrings.
No.
His
I know.
hamstrings are made of spaghetti. Like? I want someone to tell me. I'm absolutely disgusted with his transfer. I mean, disgusted. You know, you sit there. I look at him. I think to myself, how many goals this season could he possibly score? And he's taking the place of the young boy that the other Callum Marshall, who's looked. You know, let's be honest. Pre-season, that kid's looked awesome, isn't he? To
Yeah.
me, I thought he's put it in. You know, he's had a go. He runs about. He can do more than Fulkrug can do. I know Fulkrug's proven German international, whatever. Callum Wilson, he ain't an international. He kept the bench warm at Newcastle all year. And people go like people. You know, I don't know why they argue with you over David Sullivan. Where is the support? Don't people realise who he is? You know, before he was at West Ham and before he was at Birmingham, he would have owned a paper that we would remember. I know you're 20 years younger than me or whatever, but he owned a paper called the Sunday Sport.
Yeah, I
And
remember
in
that.
in the Sunday Sport, he used to put ads in his own paper for call girls. He used to put ads in his own paper for call girls. You know, this is the kind of man you're dealing with. An absolute fucking, he is the lowest of the low. The man is a cockroach. He is a fucking cockroach. And anyone who don't believe it, well, I'm sorry, trace him back. Trace his history back to what he done. Him and Gold, David Gold even, people go, oh, he was a West Ham fan. Fuck was he? All he wanted to do, the same as Sullivan, they spotted an opportunity when the Icelandics went skint and thought, we can buy that. They knew the Olympics were coming up. Look at what they've done to Birmingham. They absolutely tore Birmingham apart with the help of Karen Brady. And, you know, people sit there and look, I know I'm ranting a bit, but like, I'm heartbroken. I am absolutely heartbroken.
James, listen, I'm just letting you land, mate, because what you're saying is exactly how I feel for the last 10 years, right? And I'm just letting you go because I'm at last someone is seeing what I'm actually seeing. What you said about Sullivan, about his past, you're correct. The way the current situation is, you're correct. I can't, right, listen to people keep talking bollocks out there and sort of covering it up with gaslighting. Yeah, I've been on this case for the last 10 years. Right, I know the patterns of what he's doing. I know how he gets around it. I know what you've said about the media and the journos and all that. You bang on about that. Do you know what I mean? The issue is not enough people call this fucker out. Not enough. And if everyone was to turn around and say, well, hold on a minute, you've moved us into a stadium that we rent, into a world-class stadium with world-class players. And I'll say it again, I always say this, we've got a world-class cunt as our owner, right? We've got
Do you know
the
what?
worst
I'll
owner
say
ever.
I think we've got one world-class player, and that's Jared Bowie.
Yeah.
We've got one out of, a squad of 20, 23, 24, however many. We've got one player who's, I don't know whether he's world-class, but he's bordering world-class. The rest of them are decidedly average. You know, we deserve better. We've had good players. Like, don't get me wrong, Paqueta. I love Paqueta. I think Paqueta is mustard. But here is the thing: the man's been through absolute turmoil the last 2 years, and he was going to leave anyway. Listen, all this stuff with Steiden and that, right? Tell me, you can give me your opinion, because at the end of the day, I value what people say. But my opinion is, when Steiden was here, these players were brought in under the premise that they're going to be we're going to be a stepping stone for them to move on to somewhere else, stay a year or two, we'll cash in on you, we'll earn a load of dough, and then we'll do it again and again and again, like a recycle system of players, right? Which I'm okay with that. But the thing is you've only got to look at Kudus. Listen, any decent owner, you've got to ask yourself, would the people who own Newcastle sell Alexander Isak to Sunderland or Middlesbrough? And the answer to that would be no. right? So it's like we've already done ourselves once by selling Declan Rice to Arsenal. Now we've sold another really good player up the road to the, listen, I don't know about you. I
Yeah.
look for two results when I look at football. I look at the result for West Ham, and the next result I look at is for Spurs in the hope that they've lost because I can't fucking stand the cup. Right? That's how
Yeah, I
I've
agree.
lived my football. I've lived
Yeah.
my foot. Listen, I was going over West Ham when we used to roll under the gate at the South Bank.
Mm.
That's how, when I was like 9 years old, I used to go over there with a crowd of my mates. And we used to roll under the gate at half time to get in for free. You know,
Oh,
so when people can't turn around and say to me, "Oh, you don't know this, you don't," I've been going there. See, my dad took me to my first game, right, when I was 4 years old. I lived in Bethnal Green. It was fucking freezing cold on a February morning. My dad gave me a cup of fucking styrofoam cup full of Bovril, and I stood there crying for fucking 70 minutes, going, "I want to go home, Dad. I'm freezing. I'm fucking freezing up,"
right, and that was before you watched the football, James.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I didn't even back then. I didn't even care. My dad was dressing me in a fucking West Ham kit when I was fucking 6 months old. I saw the 1980 Cup final. I was alive in 1975 when we won it. I don't remember it because I was only 3 years old. But I
Mm.
was, I've seen the glory years. And some of the best players we've ever had, your Devonshires, your fucking DiCanios, Brooklyn, Bonds. We've always had bad omens, right, James? We've
Yeah.
always had bad omens. I remember the Kearns brothers. I remember fucking Terry Brown. And then all of a sudden there was a little bit of hope. The old Icelandics come in there. They were supposed to have plenty of money. And they started signing your Kieran Dyers. No one with spaghetti hamstrings, right? They
Yeah.
started signing players and spending money. And I was sitting there thinking, fucking hell, we got a chance now. And then all of a sudden, fucking the world banking crash happens and they go skint. And they were like vultures,
Do, do you know what
Sullivan
it?
and
Do you know what it
Cole.
is though, James? Just want to say this, right? Because I agree with you about the previous owners. The issue I've got with Sullivan is that you haven't backed up your claims of when you left Upton Park. Because if we would have been in Upton Park now and we'd have been mucking about, being in like mid-table and all that, people would have accepted that because that's where we've grown up. Yeah, but the problem is it all goes back for that last 10 years, like the generation of the move, the actual push to get the people into the ground a year early because the ground wasn't like fit. Do you know what I mean? There's people sitting on concrete
Yeah,
slabs. Like I remember seeing photos of people sending them to me back in the day. They're saying, "Look at that, James. That's our new seating plan." Do you know what I'm saying? And
but but
you know,
listen, right? You used to go the same way on the train as me, right? You lived in Dagenham.
mm,
When I was a teenager, I lived in Elm Park, so it was only a couple of stops up the road. So we all went the same way on the train. You'd be coming home on the train after games, and we all used to moan back then. But if there was a bad game or we played badly, people would moan, right? But nowadays you've got a completely different type of fan. They're entitled. They're fucking babies. It's like the politics of the country, right? They,
yeah,
they, they say they're going to do one thing to get in, then they do the complete opposite. And it's exactly the same as what David Sullivan does. He plays politics with people, right? So I'm just going to say this. I know you like X and I know you like Dave and all that. And that's all right because they're probably really nice guys. I don't know them personally. But
yeah,
what happens is Sullivan, when he wants something put out there, he will leak it to them. They will leak it on their Twitter accounts. And before you know it, you've got X telling you this, Sean telling you this, this one telling, and they're all leaking it, right? But he's bullshitted them into believing it. Now they put it out there. Now who's the ones who gets the blame? It ain't him. They get the blame. People turn around and go, that X is fucking useless because all he does is put out their information and it turns out to be fucking shit.
mm,
And every now and then they get a sign-in right or whatever. Listen, they're being used as well. They just don't know they're being used because they get money out of it. So if you get money out of it, why would you care? If you've got you know, a couple of thousand people paying you $5 a month on Patreon, you ain't going to give a shit, are you? You're just going to put out whatever you're told to put out. So if Sullivan turns around and says we're signing fucking, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo, you're going to be going, oh, we've got links to Cristiano Ronaldo. We all know it ain't going to happen.
The one thing I'm going to say, right, you are right. Thing is, I've spoke to X, I spoke to Dave. I think they're decent geezers, right?
I don't dislike them.
Yeah, right. I really do. I'm pretty good at sort of sussing people out for what they are. Yeah, I've done this game long enough to know who's the genuine ones and who's the ones who are in it for a pound note. The issue is, and this is what I found out, funny enough, about 48 hours ago, is Sullivan's got the media literally locked down with West Ham, like everywhere. And when people are coming out and saying stuff, there is an element of truth behind it.
He's had the media in his pocket since he owned the Sunday Sport.
Yeah.
He's had the sports media in his pocket since he owned the Sunday Sport, and he knows how to play the game. And this is what people don't understand. Look, listen, I can't tell anybody enough. If you've got any brains at all, if you consider yourself to be an independent, free thinker, for fuck's sake, take your head out of the game for a minute and watch what is going on. This man is the fucking vermin of society. He does not care about West Ham. He does not care about us. He don't care about players, the manager, or whatever. He's going to do what he wants to do because he knows how to play the media game. And he's even got people like Jim White and all that. They all fucking like him. Listen, look at him. Right, listen, I don't want to have a go at David Moyes, but David Moyes towards the end was terrible, and he wasted a hell of a lot of money on players. And people go like, "Oh, well, yeah, but we won the Europa League. We did, and it was a marvelous night." But you know, he bought players like Kurt Zouma who had no knees. You know, he got rid of Bonner. You know, he couldn't work with Scamacca. How could you listen? That Scamacca, he was a good player. He was a good player. He was.
Don't get me wrong, James. Don't get me wrong. Right, I agree with you that we've signed players. Yeah, but the problem is you're going to sign players over periods of time, 2, 3, 4 years. Yeah, and some of them are going to work, and some of them ain't. For every Kirk Zuma or Scamacca, there's a Thomas Souček, there's a Vladimir Sufal who's come in and done a job and been great. Right, so I can understand that. My issue is, and this is the one thing that really fucking grinds my gears, is he does not invest in this club. He recycles the money that West Ham earn, and he sort of
he don't even do that, really, does he?
Not
he
really.
Don't even do that. Look at the TV money. Like when you sit there and go, right, okay, they've had 100 and odd in TV money this year. Where is it?
Yeah. True.
Where's the TV money? So people forget about that. They go, oh, there ain't no TV money. Then you've got the season ticket sales. Then you like even that every year, right? Like, listen. Do you know there's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, right?
Yeah.
Now listen, every year he pulls the same stunt for the season tickets. We could be signing whoever it may be. This year they're going for the Aston Villa kid, whatever his name is.
Ramsey, yeah.
Ramsey, right? So they throw names out there. Like, all right, it's a bit late for season ticket, but they throw names out there, throw a good name out there and go, oh, we could be signing him. And who delivers the information? Sean Wetpants. Fucking, you know, he delivers the information. People sit there and go, oh, we're going to be signing. No, we're not. No, we're not going to be signing him. We're going to be signing Callum fucking Wilson, you know, and all your money you've spent on your season ticket, 500-600 quid to go and sit over there. They've already got it. So then they go, once they've got your money, they go, fuck them, we don't care, you know, let's just fill it up. And then the ones they don't sell, they bring all them tourists in, the half and half scarf mob, right, who sit there, they don't know whether they support fucking, you know, fucking this team or that team. It's ridiculous. The community that used to exist at West Ham was a real close-knit. But like when I used to go over there, you fucking know everyone. So even if you don't know them as like everyday friends, you're walking past, you go, all right, Steve, how you going, Dave? Like, you know, it was like that. Now you walk past and you go, who the fuck are they? Who are they? Don't know who they are. Listen, I only speak. Listen, I've never come on your show.
Yeah,
I only come. I sit and listen week after week after week. This Callum Wilson thing has pushed me over the edge where I'm sitting here thinking I don't even know if I want to watch their games anymore.
yeah, I know,
It's
mate.
pushed
That's
me
the
over
sad
the
thing.
edge,
Yeah,
and I love this club. I love this club, but Sullivan don't,
yeah,
and that's why I feel you was where you're going like you're speaking your truth, right? We've all got our own truth to speak. Everybody feels different. Nobody's right or wrong. You've got your own truth to speak. But the thing is, you get people and they're followers. They go, oh, so and so said this and so said. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The truth will always be your truth. And if that's how you feel, then you should speak of it. So if you ain't been over there for 10 years because Sullivan's been the owner and you know he's been a bag of shit all along, then I'll take my hat off to you because you're a martyr to the cause.
yeah, yeah.
That's what you are.
Yeah, but
Now,
the thing is though, James, just say this. It hurts me every time West Ham play, and then people say, "Oh, you're not a real fan because you've walked away." The reason why
yeah,
I
but
walked away is because I was seeing stuff, and I know a few things that happened on the lead up to the move. Yeah, and there was a gentleman that I used to go West Ham with, who's sadly not with us no more. But he never, I never forget the words he used to say to me. He said, "That's it now, James. Right, he's going to turn that into a franchise." Right, and what he's done, he's turned West Ham into a franchise where it doesn't matter about the community no more. It doesn't matter about John who lives in Plaistow or Steve who lives in Custom House. It's all about bums on seats and a checklist to say, right, that's filled, that's filled, that's filled. And what you just said there, I'm just going to say this before I let you land on anything else you want to say, right? What you just said there about they will chuck a name out there to G the fan base up in order to get season ticket renewals. It happens every year. It happens
every
every single year, mate. Like there was times a few years ago, Carlos Bacca, there was Lopez, Maxi Lopez, I think it was
yeah,
Valencia striker. There's always someone. There was John Duran. John Duran last year, like up to the present day, John Duran last year, same thing happened again, right? And the thing is that when you've been on it like I've been on it, and I've got some prick telling me, oh, I'm not a real fan, I know so much. But they look at me, and I tell you what, people judge me because I look like a fucking jav, and I talk like a jav. But the one thing with me is I don't forget nothing, right? And I haven't forgot nothing for a long time, and maybe,
James, I remember you when you used to go on when Daya had a
yeah,
show. I remember when you used to go on there, and I've always listened to what everybody says because, like I said, we've all got opinions on everything. And I remember Daya, he was getting everyone at it. Jesse Lingard's gonna sign, and everyone was going, "Oh yeah, Jesse Lingard." We all wanted Lingard to sign. I wanted Lingard to sign. Even me, I was living in hope. I was thinking, "Oh, he's gonna sign," but it never happened. But the whole thing, like I said, people have got to go back to the beginning
yeah,
and look at the root cause of the problems. Now, I've signed the petition, the BS Act thing, just because I can't stand them. But like I said, the reason that you're getting Callum Wilsons and KWP and this one and that one is they all belong to these what you would call super agents, right? Your salt
yeah,
houses and Silkman. And Sullivan crowbars these agents into the deal because that's the way to filter money out. He can filter money. He can go to the board and go, look, if we sign this player, he might
spot
not
on.
turn out to be what our manager wants, but I can nick us a couple of million. Like we'll have a split with the agent. Everyone on the board can have like 300 grand, and they're all going, oh yeah, like nice, we'll have some of that, and it just shows up as a tax vote, so nobody can really tell what's going on. That's what he's doing. Like I said, every year, where the fuck is the 100 odd million TV money? We're renting the stadium for 5 million a year. Where is the TV money? Where's the fucking money for the season ticket? Why ain't we buying top players? We did buy a few top players. We bought the Paqueta. We bought Kudus. We bought Alvarez. Alvarez has turned like he just won player of the tournament for Mexico, and like nobody uses him. Everyone thinks he's a load of shit. Now I do agree that he turns like a fucking tugboat, right? He's a slow as fuck turning.
Yeah.
But the geezer must have some qualities. Is it we're using them wrong? Yeah, and what I was going to say to you with regards to Moyes, the reason no strikers ever could work for him is because David Moyes wanted to play so deep that the only kind of striker that he's ever really been any good for him. When you think about it, Antonio was good for him. Marko Arnautovic was good for him. Yakubu was good for him. Them kind of players who've got explosive pace, strong as an ox, will wrestle with 2 or 3 players. They will work for Moyes, but there's so few of them about.
Yeah.
It ain't like there are. How many players can you honestly say are like an Antonio? When Antonio was fit, he was as strong as a lion. And he would wrestle with the players. When he had a bad game, the whole team looked shit. Because we were so deep, we was all on the, like, literally, I've right, you can say, tell me what you think. How many times have you seen Michail Antonio playing up front and 25 yards inside his own half?
I know.
Is that a lie? Is that a lie or is that true?
No, it's true
And
what you're saying.
And that's why we were so low goal scoring in the end. When we had Lingard, it was all right because you could knock the ball out to Lingard. Lingard fucking had the ability to run 30 yards, stop, change direction, go another 30 yards, and then lay the ball off. By that time, someone had caught him up and you'd get a go out of it. When we never had Lingard anymore, we had no, you could do that. So
true,
you go back to look, let me just say this. James Ward-Prowse, how much did we pay for that geezer? 40 million?
30 million, I think it was.
30 million. Fucking hell, I've seen better people playing in fucking over fucking Parslow's Park. I've seen better players over Parslow's Park, honestly. Like the geezer can only go sideways and backwards. He can't do anything else. A forward pass scares the life out of him. You sit there and go like, for fuck's sake, look in the gap there. Look, there's fucking Fulkrug standing in the gap between the fucking 2 midfielders. Lay it forward, let him hold it up and everyone move. No, it goes sideways.
Do you know what, James? You've really cheered me up, mate, because I needed someone to come on and boost my morale, and you fucking have, mate. I really do appreciate it. James, you're going to let...
Go on, let me go. Like I say, look, I only tell the truth. I'm an old man. You know what I mean? My missus is even laughing at me. She thinks I'm a cunt.
Right, she doesn't. Listen, anytime you want to come on, James, you're always welcome, mate. So next time you want to come on,
cheers, James.
always.
Good luck with the show and everything. See you soon, mate.
No worries, mate. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Let's let James go. I'll tell you what, brilliant. That's why I leave the link in the chat, because I'm going to be straight for things like that, when people can come on and express themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I've always done. I've always done that. I thought that call was probably one of the best calls I've had ever since I've done E20. I thought he spoke fact. He spoke from the art. He addressed stuff that doesn't really get mentioned enough. Brilliant. And listen, the link's always there. Anyone who wants to come on, they're always welcome to come on, have their say, whether it's after a game or on this or whenever. Do you know what I mean? I thought he was good. Anyone else who wants to come on, have their say, jump in and have your say on what was said. But I thought he was brilliant. He really was. Well in, James. Definitely get back on, mate. Bang on with a great speaker. I must admit, he was cracking me up. That's the thing. He was actually making me laugh. I was like, because he was saying stuff, and I was just thinking stuff, and it's just, it's tickling me a little bit. But fair play to him, man. Fair play. What we got here? David Lodge says, I'm on a 20-minute delay, but I give this geezer a regular spot. Listen, he ain't got to have a regular spot. He can come on anytime he likes. Do you know what I mean? You know where it is. So, E20 is popping late. Nobody can doubt James's work rate in the YouTube game. It's not about the work rate, Alf. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't do this for clout. I've never have done. I do this for everyone. Like, my thing is, I love this club like the next man. Yeah. I don't tell someone how to support West Ham United. You do it how you want to do it. What I do say is that I'm not going to sit here and lie. but other people will lie through their fucking teeth, and that to me is just, it's just not right for me. I mean, I could. And there's been times where I could have shut this down and walked away, but I haven't. So I must be doing something right. Do you know what I'm saying? I think he's relatedly loyal. Either that, or he didn't have any clubs that approached him. I don't know what that's about, but right. I am gonna chuck your comments in. Any comments, questions? If you want to come on, I'm gonna go for another 15 minutes. So, we will see what's going on with that. Right, let's have a look, see what's going on the old social media. No. Well, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, son. Happy birthday. I'm on a drive back from Leeds, 2 hours. Keep the live going. This is a good one. I'll leave it at Tay. I will be doing a watch along later for the Bournemouth game at 7 o'clock. So, that'll be fun. And then obviously tonight, straight after the game, afterthought. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, get on there. Afterthought. If you've got anything you want to say. What we got here? Some of that. Jimbo and James, what a duo. Yeah, well, we do try. It'd be interesting to see who plays tonight. Alvarez is going to play. I expect him to play. I don't think Mavropanos is going to play. I think he's injured, so I think he's out. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, Potts needs to start and all. We need to see Potts give Ferran a full game and see how he ticks. Yeah, is what it is, mate, on that. Right. I think that's everything, I think. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a move. Excuse me. I'm going to make a move. Brilliant caller from James today, I must admit. I leave the link in the chat, as I always do. And yeah, let's have a look, see what Tone's saying. Tone, do you want to come on here? Because it'd be good to get you on quick. And if you're doing a watch along, Tone, why don't you do a joint one with me, son? We might need to discuss it. So let me know. Let me know if you want to come on, right? But I'll tell you what, that call has been brilliant, I must admit. I'm probably going to clip that up and make that as a segment. Sorry, I couldn't jump on, James. We'll catch up soon. All right, no worries, mate. Right, that's enough from me. Anyway, listen, go and enjoy your Sunday. Don't worry about fucking West Ham. Do you know what I'm saying? We play later, ladies and gentlemen, so we're gonna have to see how we get on. One day you need to do a snooker live stream. I don't know about that, mate. My snooker skills are not as good as my pool skills. My pool skills ain't all that anymore. Do you know what I mean? But I've got to get back playing, must admit. Right, where are we? Right. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to E20 Zone TV, hit notification bell and all of that. And I'll be back tonight about 10 to 7 for the Bournemouth game. Shout out to James, because I thought he was excellent. Yeah, I thought he was brilliant. And the way he come across, he fucking cracked me up. Some of the stuff he was coming out with. And Joe, what? Go back and watch this. If you're just coming in now, go back and re-watch when James comes in and watch what he says, because what he says is absolutely spot on from start to finish. And that is why I just sat back, had a drink, and just let him carry on, because I agree with everything he was saying. I really do. That's why I love this game deep down, because you get to meet different people, and I'm a bit of a people person. So, yeah. Anyway, that's enough from me. Take care of yourselves out there. Bish, bash, bosh. Watch it.